All right, TJ, what do you think of this one?
It's evil, Chris.
Evil.
Welcome to the Dead Air Horror Review Show, the most evil show of the year and the last show of the year. We watched New Year's Evil, and we're evil podcast hosts.
That's
Yeah,
pretty good, TJ. You didn't even need any kind of vocal
I
enhancer to
didn't
do
need the
that.
voc. Yeah, a vocoder that is like a harp, like stuck in his mouth.
No. Just a New Year's resolution.
What the fuck?
I'll tell you what, it got under my skin. It
Bro, I
got me.
don't know if you remember. There's a great episode of The Simpsons where Rodney Dangerfield plays Mr. Burns' long lost son, and there's
Yes.
a part in the episode where he kidnaps him, and Homer uses a kazoo on his mouth as a vocoder. Oh my God!
Is that
So
not what they did here? They used
it
something
feels
to,
like
yeah.
I'm going to commit murder.
So we dove headfirst back into I think I'm gonna go out on a limb here, Chris. I think this is our happy place.
This is
If
our
we're not
wheelhouse.
watching if
This
we're
is
not watching like good prestige current horror movies, like when we go back into like the 80's, man, this is some fun territory, man. I
yeah.
don't know how you felt, but this movie was a blast. It
I'll
was
tell
so
you what,
stupid.
when I was watching this, I felt the same way that you just mentioned. I was like, this is where I want to be right now.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I loved it.
and
And I had never seen this before. I've heard
no, I've
about
never even
it, never
heard of it.
watched this movie. Yeah.
When you said last week a New Year's themed horror movie, I was like, oh, here we go again. Like it's going to be like another mean one or another It's a Wonderful Knife.
No,
And this
no.
like totally exceeded my
This is so
expectations
great.
on every
Oh,
level.
and just like Violent Night, Deadly Night, another movie that makes some like just hilariously odd decisions. Like I don't know how much they paid. They had some like hilariously like racist name, like Made in Japan or whatever band it was
Yeah.
that because there was
Oh,
a
wasn't it Shadow?
was it Shadow?
It was Shadow, I
Shadow.
think.
There's a
I'll
few
double
bands in
check
here.
that.
There's a few bands in this
Let me
movie, and
fact check my own.
all the bands in this movie are actual bands. I did a little
You did.
research.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because can we
they
can
were.
we can we touch on that first? Just because
Sure, absolutely.
I don't know how you felt about it.
Yeah,
Generally we're aligned when it comes to music and movies.
yeah.
I actually loved the soundtrack to
It
this
was
movie. It
awesome.
was amazing.
It
It
was
was
awesome.
somehow they went from like playing a glam rock song
Right,
on New Year's Eve to doing a
like
like southern bluegrass
yeah,
blues.
to like kind of like a trashy like garage rock kind of. There was a song called "Dumb Blondes" that was like they don't know how to drive, but they're good in bed. Dumb
Oh
Blondes.
geez.
It was
That's problematic.
like a little, just
What
a
I loved
little.
about the blues song that they played is that there was very little transition from
Uh-oh.
one to another, and the
Yeah.
crowd looked like drugged out zombies, just kind of like
Yeah.
moving around the crowd. They were bumping into one
And they
another,
kept
but they didn't know. I'm guessing the director was
yeah.
just like, we don't really know what to do with this music. You can't mosh. I don't think moshing even existed
No,
back then.
it,
That
it
wasn't
felt
even a
like
term.
it felt like it felt like if the crowd was so like zombified, but like you've watched you're like me, you've watched like a lot of the old like punk rock documentaries. We've probably
Mhm.
seen all the same ones. But like it was that late 70's, early 80's, like where they didn't really know how to mosh. They just kind of like fell into place and like jumped around and like fell on each other. And it's so endearing. And then there was some weird ass like part of the movie where the camera was from the floor, and
Yeah.
then people were like jumping off the stage into something, but the way it was framed, you couldn't tell what. It was so wild that I thought, I don't know about you, but I thought in the beginning of the movie that the crowd was going to be like a central theme
Yeah,
of
I
the
thought so
movie.
too.
I thought that there was going to be something to do with them, but no. But real quick, still talking about the music. One of the first choices that I absolutely left me just scratching my head was there is a title song, a New Year's Evil song that they play in the movie. They play it a couple of times, but they play it right away in the beginning of the movie as the opening credits go. Also, the title sequence is amazing. It's these like punk rockers in this like a convertible driving down I don't know, wherever they were, LA, and they're like there's just people flashing them boobs. They're like drinking in the car and yelling at people. It's amazing.
Shall we dance to the music, toast the past, watch the holly hopping jolly of the hourglass. Love that last when I see your bright.
Like,
Yeah,
it's absolutely amazing.
This is what I imagine 80s Hollywood
Oh yeah.
punk subculture was like. Like
Yeah,
there was
sign
no
me up.
rules. There was zero.
Sign me the fuck up. Give me
Yeah.
that. But anyway, so they play this New Year's Evil song, and then the very next song they play, but obviously when they play it, the title they play the title track over the credits. That isn't diegetic. That's not in the scene. But the very first song they play that everyone else can hear in the movie is the same song, and I was like, well, why would you do that? So this movie is basically about this TV hostess who is she what's the name of her show? It's like the Hell Hotline or
Yeah,
Hot
something like that.
something like that. Um but she's like a video DJ, I guess, and they're having this New Year's Eve live concert. And then in the midst of all this, she gets all these weird threatening phone calls, and there's like a murderer running about, and that's kind of your whole movie.
Ballet's here. A crazy new year to you.
Happy New Year to you, Blaze.
But I am shortchanging quite a bit of it. She has a son who's like a weirdo that she doesn't pay any attention to,
That
and then
poor
for
kid.
some reason, the
Yeah.
son, like, there's a scene where the son's just like, I'm not insane, and then just like puts a mask on his face and like starts smearing makeup on. That it's like, okay.
That caught me a bit off guard. I was not expecting that, which I liked. You know, I like to be kept on my toes, and that
Yeah.
definitely kept me on my toes.
But it's intercut between the concert footage, which is again pretty great, and the movie. Like, this movie is super short. It's not even an hour and a half long. It's like an hour and 25 minutes, I think.
Yeah, it's 85 minutes. Hour
Yeah,
and
so,
25, yeah.
so they are stretching for time because they really stick with a lot of these musical performances pretty long. It's for like a movie. You know what I mean?
I'm
Like,
glad they did.
yeah, me
helped,
too.
it helped move the story along.
It's one of my favorite aspects of the movie.
Yeah.
But as this killer, the voice I was making, one of the things that was very confusing to me is, so again, she's got like, it's a call-in show, I guess. I don't know, it's very confusing because it was like a, I don't know if you kids remember this, but they used to have these what were they called? A telemarket. What was it called? Like a teledrive, or
Yeah,
like public access used to do it. A telethon. That's the word I'm looking for. They used to do these telethons where they would be raising money. You'd have to call in, and then sometimes they would put the calls on the TV. And for some reason, they had like a phone bank there, but yeah, I didn't really understand why. And then when the host took the phone calls, like most of the time in movies like this, they put the dialogue or the conversation from the phone
hear
to the whole room.
through the broadcast.
But in this movie, I wasn't sure if everyone in that watching the show could hear this or just the host could hear this. It wasn't very clear. It was very confusing.
And her timing was terrible. The host timing, because every time she took a call, it was Mr. Evil.
Yeah.
On the other end.
The killer called himself Evil, which is fucking hilarious.
Can you do it in the voice, TJ?
I'm evil. Evil.
I mean, it was so fucking funny. Like, and what I thought was interesting is that in the beginning, in the very first time Evil calls into the show, they don't show his face. And I was like, oh, it's going to be like a reveal as to who it is. But then immediately after that, they show his face like right away. Like it's not a. I guess the twist is when you find out who he is by the end of the movie.
He's got a very Ted Bundy-esque
bro, this dude fucks. This dude is amazing.
I mean, he must have tore through Hollywood in the 80s.
Bro, this fucking guy, he goes, his first victim is this nurse. And I guess they go so far as to say it's a sanitarium that the son was in at some point. Isn't there a drop line, something about that?
I don't remember the son part. You may be right. I just don't remember.
I mean, they didn't focus on it very long, but I want to, maybe I'm wrong, but it doesn't matter. So his first victim is this nurse, and he literally just shows up. This guy is a master of two things: murder and costuming. He's great at costuming. So he goes and shows up at this hospital, and he's like, oh, and he's dressed up in his scrubs or whatever, and he's like, oh, I'm here to help out. And this nurse is like, oh, we could definitely use it. And then he's like, hey, you want to drink some champagne and fuck? And she's like, yeah, let's do that.
15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year from New York City!
Only because it's New Year's Eve.
Bro, this guy, for y'all you Zoomers out there, this guy is the embodiment of the Rizzler. This guy says fucking 2 words to this lady, and she is down. She is down so bad. She is at work, and she's like, yeah, let's just fuck, like, immediately. And that carries through the rest of the movie, too. As soon as this guy meets a woman, they want to fuck him. Like, it's incredible. I've never seen anything like it. So... go ahead.
It's for an 80s slasher film, I feel like it delivers on every
Oh my god, does it ever? I mean,
the acting, the music, the story, the kazoo like scary voice that I wish TJ would just do the entire episode, because that would make it so much more enjoyable for me personally.
Evil. I really like the kills.
What did you think about the kills themselves?
I loved them. I thought they were great. I thought that the first one was done more like implied than you actually saw anything. But the second one, where he kills the girl in the car with the bag, I thought that was like pretty graphic and pretty gnarly. I was like, that's pretty fucked up. And I enjoyed the choice to cut to the outside of the car, and then it's the car stops shaking. I was like, I kind of like that.
You want to smoke a number?
7,
Sure.
6,
I got some great
5,
stuff here.
4,
Colombia.
3,
Here,
2,
smell.
1. Happy New Year from Chicago!
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. I did think though that and I also like the follow-up, because remember, she had her friend with her, and then he distracts the friend, has her go to the liquor store. The liquor store employee may be the worst actor I've ever seen in my life, because he looked like he was looking for direction, giving the lady change. He's just like, and 99 is 100. And you have a good New Year's. It was like, what is going on? But anyway, I like the little, like, he left like these breadcrumbs of her corpse. Like, so she could, like, the friend, like, he left the shoe, and then he left the fucking, or no, I'm sorry, I fucked up. He didn't leave the bread. He left the shoe, and then he led her to the dumpster, but then he was in the fucking dumpster and then kills the friend. shit, that was also like fucking brutal. But that scene is buttoned by one of the funniest goddamn things. So like the cops are there and they're like, "Oh, we got to investigate this dead body. There's something in the dumpster." And they open the dumpster and it's the friendliest looking cat I've ever seen in my life. And it's like, "Rawr!" And they obviously like, they 80-yard the hissing cat, but like, could you not piss that cat off? That cat, first of all, the cat looked like a kitten, and two, like the cat was like super friendly. It just cuts to him and they're like, "Oh my God." It's just like, I was like,
they see very little in that small
it
little
was,
town of Hollywood that
bro,
when they see
it
a
was,
cat,
it
it
was so
really
bad.
sets
It
them
was
off.
like, why didn't you just edit that out? Because you could just have them open the dumpster and be horrified to find 2 bodies in there. But they're like, no, we need the cat in there. It has to have the
I
cat.
love that choice.
Oh my
I love
God.
that choice they made.
The cat's not even reacting. The cat's just like, it's like, it's so funny.
But
Like,
also
I mean,
think about the superhuman feat of strength it took to lift that woman off of her feet into the dumpster.
oh yeah, and into the dumpster. Oh yeah, but this guy and hilariously
And he
too,
wasn't he in there with a like a little
a lighter.
lighter.
Yeah.
With his face up like peekaboo. Oh my
Also,
God.
we forgot to mention that he puts on like the funny, like he's got like the funniest outfit when he kills this woman because he puts. I love this too, right? Because nobody knows who this guy is, but he still feels the need to disguise himself because he puts a mustache on. Like it's like what? But and also he's this is really a fun sign of the times. He's going to a party at Eric Estrada's house, which is pretty funny. So yeah, so he kills those 2. Oh, by the way, I don't think we've mentioned it, but he like tape records all of the murders and then plays them for the TV host after the murders, and yeah. And he keeps saying instant replay. Like, I don't know if whoever wrote this movie just started watching like sports and was like amazed at the concept of instant replay, but it was pretty funny. So yeah, so he kills those 2 people. And then his next victim, he goes to it goes right to the host after that, right? Like he doesn't kill anybody else. Or no, he
the
tries.
bikers.
Greetings, asshole.
Oh my God, the fucking bikers. How did I
Yeah.
forget this goddamn scene?
The bikers.
So this guy who is on like a murder happy rampage, trying to keep a low profile, he ends up getting in like a goddamn fight with a biker gang, which is like, what?
Yeah.
Like, why? And
it was a good twist though, because you're like, oh, this could be the moment. Well, it's not gonna end the movie, but you're like, okay, this is a nice little twist because how is he going to get himself out of this mess?
A man of God, not a man of violence.
You're fighting a whole group of bikers who just want to kick your ass. Like,
yeah. And of course, because this is an 80s movie, I told you in the first half second of this movie, like titties pop out. So of course, this is a drive-in movie theater where it's like, come on, baby, it's time to have sex. Yeah. And they're making out. So in his effort to get away from the biker gang, he hijacks a car with the girl that was getting made out with, and then that's like his next victim. But she gets away, which is a fun change of pace. Yeah. Also, that scene where they're in the car, the victim and him, and she's like, "I'll do anything, I'll give you money," and he's like, "I don't want your money," and he's just like playing with his knife, like legitimately terrifying scene.
Yeah.
Like actually like well done on all parts, like pretty good scene. Also good for this movie. I just got done saying how perverted this movie is because it's the 80s, but like good job not making this scene more perverted, because you could have had, "Oh, I want you to take off your shirt," or whatever. I don't
honestly,
really do that.
Any scene that involved a female could have gone that route.
Yeah, and
for an 80s slasher usually would.
And I don't think any of them did really.
Yeah. I don't know if like you would use tasteful isn't the right word.
No. Let's I mean, especially like the killer's motivation is like he's just tired of his bitch wife. Like his motivations for killing all these people is so like it's like, bro, just get a divorce, man. Like what? By the end of the movie, he's just like, you were always away at work and you won't let me do what I want to do, and I'm gonna take my son to a football game. And it's like, you can't do that just like without killing all the people. Like, it seems a little, you seem to really want the nuclear
he's
option
playing the
on there.
victim, like that's what serial killers do.
Yeah. So anyway, at this point in the movie, you find out that evil, I'm evil.
Evil.
He is the TV host's wife or husband. Excuse me. She's his wife, and it's like a big reveal because the killer gets into the hostess's room and looks like it's about to do something, but then she turns around. She's like, Richard, I think that's his name. I can't remember.
Yeah, Richard.
He also has this really odd mask that's behind me that I don't know, like what the fuck that is, but it is pretty
creepy
terrifying.
as hell. Yeah,
it looks like a Laurel and Hardy kind of mask.
I think it is. I think you're right.
But it's very fucking creepy. But anyway, this is kind of like the climax of the movie. Like, the cops realize that he's the killer, and then the wife, the hostess, realizes that he's the killer, and then they go like on this weird chase, and he captures her and hooks her to a elevator. And I believe his last words to her before he wenches her to the elevator, the bottom of the elevator, is "Get smashed."
Enjoy your going away party. Get smashed.
It's hilarious. And then our killer is not. I said he was only good at 2 things. He's good at 3 things because he's also apparently an elevator mechanic. Because he gets this big elevator control panel that he's like rigging all the electricity towards, and it's just like, what am I watching? Then he has a this guy's obsessed with replay and monitors because he has a live camera in the elevator watching the 2 drunk like skater punks that are in the elevator, presumably that he put in there as weight to like mush her. I don't know.
I mean, the amount of planning it took for this murder. I mean, talk about premeditated. This guy knew what he was doing. He was a pro. I mean, from the hacking the elevator controls all the way to the bodies to wait. I mean, he's a professional. This is what when you hire a professional. Well,
yeah,
nobody was hired. He did it on his own. He was, unhappy with his wife.
And yeah, he was unhappy. This is when you find out he's unhappy with his wife, and his wife doesn't pay attention to his son or him, so that's why she needs to die. And it's like he gets into a shootout with the police, and of course the police shoot the control panel to the elevator, and that stops her from getting mushed. And then he runs to the ceiling and jumps off the ceiling.
Don't even consider it, you scum.
Because the cops are going to get him. And then the son sees this, and the son's like, I'm going to take up my father's mantle. Somehow, this is another funny choice. So when the killer kills himself, there is a crowd of people around, like tons of people. It's outside this busy television station, but somehow the son was able to get into this ambulance, murder the ambulance driver, take his spot while no one saw it. I'm like,
Okay, she's ready. Let's go.
it's left on a cliffhanger that the son, I guess, is going to be next year's New Year's Evil.
Evil.
And I think this was maybe this was more of an issue in the 80s, but I think it's still an issue now. Please watch out for your husbands, their mental health.
Yeah,
Pay
for real.
attention to them. Shower them with love, because
Yeah,
if you don't,
take your son to a college football game. You know what, ladies? Get your husband flowers. You know, why not? Get him flowers. Give him something
deserve it.
nice.
I mean,
Dollar Shave Club. We're still looking for the sponsorship, but
he just
get him
wanted a little
Dollar
bit of
Shave Club.
attention, a
Yeah.
little bit of love, maybe a hug.
Yeah,
Who's missing out on hugs?
maybe a little tug. You never know. A little tug ain't hurt nobody.
I think it has hurt some.
Yeah, well, yeah, true. I just can't get over the motivation of the killer. To me, it was so funny because, like, I don't know. I guess I'm naively waiting for like some, like, I don't know, deeply rooted reason why he hates her so much, and it's literally just like, you won't let me go fishing anymore. It's like, it's fucking wild to me. Like, this man has planned this shit presumably for a very long time, has the means, he's got the costuming and the car and the vocoder and he's got everything lined up. And then it's just because, like, lady, you're cramping my style. You won't let me play Xbox Live like you used to. Like, I don't know. Like,
the stories that she'll be able to tell after this. I mean, the book that she's going to be able to write, the movie rights that she'll be able to sell. She's going to become famous off of this. I mean, she's already, like, Blaze. That's her name.
Her name is Blaze.
Yeah,
I forgot her name was Blaze.
Known to her fans. I mean, she's already a big deal. But after this, I mean,
yeah. Well, the agent says something funny in the beginning because you're never really sure of the scope of how popular this show is. Because he's like, if we get this on, we'll really, like, blow the networks away. And it's like, networks? What network is showing this show?
I can't see ABC picking this up on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
We're running out of time, but I just can't help but think, like, this is like the kind of movie we need to stick to from now on. This is just like, how many more movies are there like this?
Tons.
Yeah, right.
Like, yeah, I mean, this was such a blast. I mean, and it's like I said last week, right? Like, this movie is, like, objectionably bad. Like, it's not good. It's not like a well-made movie, but like, it's a ton of fun. And it's like, it's so full of just like, well, fuck it. Just like, we need like more runtime. So just show the bands play all their fucking songs. And they probably, knowing how fucking predatory entertainment companies are, those bands probably paid to have their songs in this movie, I would guess.
And you said you did a little bit of research beforehand. Do you know anything about the band that actually performed in this movie? Were they a real band?
There was two. It was two actual bands. Yeah. I think it might have been three. But no, all the bands that you see on stage, and they give their real names. Like, the name of the band was, like, I think it was Shadow and Made in Japan. Like, those are real bands. And a little side note, something I always appreciate in movies that have musical performances, they're actually playing the songs. Like, you could tell. Like, I always like that.
Dumb blunts, where you may end up on top of that. Still number one. Dumb blunts, where they may.
Yeah, one of those early songs, it had like a cool little, like, stoner rock riff.
Well, let's start our own celebration here, okay? With Shadow!
To it.
Yeah, it was pretty sick.
Oh my gosh, this is...
Well, the New Year's Evil song, the intro sounds like the guitar riff reminded me of that Blink 182 song. What the hell is that song called? I think it's Damn It, the one that's like,
yeah.
Like, that riff is, like, very similar to New Year's Evil's riff.
They totally ripped off Shadow.
Yeah, right. But this movie has like weird, like it almost like, have you ever seen Driller Killer? It's not a very good movie.
No.
It's my least favorite Abel Ferrara movie. But like that movie also has like extended musical sequences with a real band, and it's
Oh,
like
really?
that had the same kind of vibe. Um, I just love this movie. It's dripping with just like cheese and like weird like LA like street aesthetic that I fucking love. Like, I don't know. It
Yeah.
just seemed cooler to be like a shitty like punk kid back then. Like, I don't know. There's just it probably wasn't. It probably, that's all in the movie, but like, I don't know. It just like I want to be the shitty teen driving down, Sunset Boulevard in my Cadillac with like
With a
my
bottle of
punk
vodka
friends with a
and
bottle of vodka screaming at people on the street. Like, I don't know. It looked awesome. Like that shit looked fucking cool as hell.
yeah.
Like I had so much fun watching it. Like, I don't know. It just again, it just reminds me of like, man, like bad movies used to be fun. Like they used to
Yeah.
be like fun to watch. And yeah, this was a lot of fun to watch.
Now, uh what other so maybe we should crowdsource too, like what people think
Yeah, oh, it's
of
a great
other
idea.
like 80s slasher films that we should
Well, we should. I think like sticking. I forgot that. I can't believe I forgot to mention that. But this is a Canon movie too. This is a Canon Studios movie. So this is a Golem and Globus joint.
uh,
Um, I
can you
think. Hmm?
uh tell me more about that because I'm not really familiar.
Canon.
Yeah.
Oh, Canon was like the house of like very very bad cheesy movies in the 80s. A very famous studio in the 80s. I highly recommend. There's a documentary about Canon you should watch. It's great. But Canon made like if it was like a cheap movie to be rushed to the theaters, like they would make it. Like they made
This is
Break-In, they
yeah.
made Break-In 2, they made I don't know, a lot of the like Chuck Norris movies, a lot of the like later Death Wish movies, like
Oh, okay. I didn't know
and
that was
they
all from the same distributor. That's
oh yeah.
that
Oh yeah,
makes total sense.
Canon is like if A24 was like a toilet. Like they were great. Like they were fantastic. Um And Canon's made a lot of horror movies, so it might be fun to stick in the Canon horror catalog and see how that treats us. But well, I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We should do scores, huh?
Yeah, let's do scores.
You can
You
go
go
first.
first.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
oh boy.
Okay.
Um,
We've reached an impasse.
I'm gonna say for me, this was like a 8.7.
Hmm. Yeah, I agree.
Oh, you're going 8.7 too?
I'm gonna go 8.8 because I
Oh, all
really like
right.
the movie. This
Price
is a
is right.
blast. This is like again, this is the kind of movie if you're put this on at a party, people love it. Like it's so over the top and insane and like full of just like weird decisions all over the place. Like the music is great, the violence is great, the lead killer evil is hilariously
Yeah.
charismatic. Like I loved him so much. The hostess, which we didn't talk about very much, she's great, but she also like she doesn't know how to react to things very well. She's kind of a hilarious actress. Like anytime like something
But that
horrific
works for this
happens,
movie.
anytime anything horrific happens, she just kind of looks confused, which is
Yeah.
funny. But yeah, this movie's a total blast. I
Yeah.
loved it. Loved it to
Watch
death.
it.
Big
We don't,
recommend.
yeah, I would highly recommend too. I don't know what we're watching next week. We never really discussed it, but
Yeah,
I
we'll
feel
figure it
like
out.
yeah, we got to do something along these
Well,
lines,
I
right?
thought we were
Oh,
talking
we're
about
doing the
maybe doing
countdown or the not
our
the
year
countdown.
end
Yeah.
show. So yeah, that'll
Yeah.
be next week. All
All
right.
right.
Well, I think that's the show.
That's it.
So thanks everybody. Go watch New Year's Evil, man. It's great.
Yeah.
Watch it on New Year's.
Yeah,
It'll
you
be
still have
fun.
plenty of time.
Yeah. And have a happy new year. Chris and I wish you all a happy new year. And we hope you all get some sloppy toppy at midnight. That's
I
what
don't know
everybody
what that
wants.
means. No
Oh,
idea
you
what
know
that
it.
means.
You
No.
you know what it means. All right, everybody. Follow us on TikTok, follow us on YouTube. Please share and like, comment. Comments are huge. Nobody comments on anything. I'm not
Yeah.
blaming you. I'm talking about TikTok wide. I've never seen anybody.
A simple emoji, thumbs down, thumbs up, LOL.
The eggplant emojis, they're great for sloppy
Dylan
toppy. You can put an eggplant and then a top hat and then like
A squirt.
the squirt.
Drip,
Yeah,
drip.
there you go. Yeah, do that. Just put those on all our videos. But yeah, anyway, thanks everybody. We'll see you later.
Later.